He's not like that, though. He doesn't get mad.
I never go against Rose, remember? And you're like, well, you're not supposed to be. I'm like, I'm not being biased. I just never go against Rose. And I was right.
You were right.
Woo!
You were right.
The rest of the schedule, second hour, former FBI agent Warren Flagg, who's going to talk about it, and I'm going to introduce it this way, and I've posted it this way. He's going to talk about the attempted assassination on a UFC fan.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's what it was. It was a UFC fan.
I don't mean to laugh at what's happening.
Right.
I do like how you twisted that a little bit there.
I'll run down the rest in a minute. You know, my mom's dementia is going to kick in, and I'm going to forget. I have more memorabilia than I want. Okay, a lot of people have given me stuff, and, you know, I don't have that type of house. Depending on the cost, I want to buy that photo of former president, hopefully future president Donald Trump, with the blood on the ear, and I know it was only a little whatever. Can you imagine what the donation to his fund is going to be for that photo?
Amazing. A lot.
We haven't seen anything that iconic in a long time.
You know, it's epic.
When I saw the picture, and I was going to make a joke on Facebook, but I decided no matter what I say, it's going to backfire against me. So, but I was going to say, wow, this is Donald Trump after listening to Joe Biden at the debate. His ears are bleeding. But I didn't want to get into, you say something like that on Facebook and it becomes a whole other issue. It takes on a life of its own. Even though you're trying to make it a little lighthearted, I didn't want to do it.
The rest of the schedule, after former FBI agent Warren Flagg, David Feldman is in Europe.
Nice.
But he's going to come on and talk about, they came out with a shirt, and it says, Make America Brave Again.
Yep. From
Bare Knuckle. Kind of, cute, kind of whatever, but the important thing is that all the proceeds are going to go to the family of
the firefighter,
the hero. Yeah. I mean, again, and we talk about it. I talked about it last week. I talked about it in Denver. We all say we do these things. You touch my granddaughter, I'm going to be Cain Velasquez. Will I? We don't know until you're put in that situation. And this hero, protected his family. So we're going to have Dave on from Spain to talk about the shirt. Scheduled to be in studio, so we'll have to get that set up in the second hour. Max Quinones fights next Friday, CFFC. And I'm going to save my line. I'm not going to waste it on you guys. I'm gonna waste it when Max gets here. The co-main event Saturday night in the third hour is going to kick off. Brad Tavares, our good buddy, our Hawaiian friend, and then again, Victory Wednesday. Had to make sure I didn't call it the other. We're going to have back on, so hopefully you have that question that you didn't use last week, Matt. Montel Jackson to come back.
What a fight he had. And, I agree with what Steve said. He is taking the Aljamain Sterling route. He's slow and steady. He's just putting in his work. And, man, that was impressive. His interview last week wasn't that impressive. Right. But his fight was really impressive, right, Matt?
Yeah. And I have a trump card question.
Oh, cool.
Question for him,
And, you
that's what they call it, right? Like when you're memorabilia.
A trump card?
Well, yeah, trump card. Isn't that what they call it?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So he has his own UFC card.
So you talk about your Hawaiian friend, Brad Tavares. What I love about Brad, and I think most Hawaiians have the same character, they're such nice people. But then when they're fighting, they are fighting.
For sure.
There's no question. Like, we always talk about the Mexican fighters and, these guys have heart and all this stuff. But, man, you put a Hawaiian in there, they're badass. But you also, the character and how nice they are, like, you could the juxtaposition of Brad Tavares outside the cage and inside the cage is just crazy.
No, for sure. But and I know you don't mean it this way, but just to say the Hawaiians or the Mexicans. I mean, I know if you're from the Bahamas, what are you? A Bahamian?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty good friends with a Bahamian who was on last week. Eve Edwards, Dean Thomas, who I was with over the weekend. Nicest guys in the world. I've never understood. Well, I guess I have, because Matt's going to tell me I'm like that I can turn it on and turn it off and whatever. But how they flip that switch and go from Eve Edwards, the coolest guy in the world, to a fighter.
Yeah, and even, like you said, Matt Serra is another. He's a guy who's joking around all the time. But you put him in a cage, or you even put him on a mat, even in his own gym, and he'll choke you out pretty quick.
And the cool tie-in to Brad Tavares here locally is one of his sponsors has like the train horns that they install in the trucks, and he does these YouTube videos where he scares the crap out of people by honking the horn on the street. So, with the whole Trump incident this week, the Trump train 2024, Brad Tavares and the train horns coming to Tampa.
Well, we get those train horns in Ybor City. When I work at bars in Ybor City, And man, there's always a truck or even sometimes a little Toyota car with the train horn. You're like, it scares the living daylights out of the entire block. Anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me?
I still say, and I hate to do this because I hate giving Matt any credit.
Well, hold on. I got props today.
I hate.
Before you do it, let me get my props ready.
I hate talking nice about him. It's not an act, but I told him last week. The thing about Matt is he drives me crazy, but every once in a while, and it takes a long time sometimes, every once in a while he comes up with gems. And so your first week, when as the crap just keeps coming, you said something.
We trying to make America and pizza great.
We kind of disagreed, which is fine. So we disagreed, and then Matt reaches over and shakes your hand and goes, "It was nice knowing you."
Yeah, did you disagree with the king? It's not good for the last few people.
We disagreed about something about Hall of Fame, right?
I'm sure we disagree about everything. Yeah. Well, I reached out to...
one thing we can agree on is that you're cool as hell.
Well, I appreciate that. All right, so he's good for this week. so he can stay at least another week. I called Scott Peterson, who is, I don't know what his official title is, owner, god, whatever, of MMA Weekly. And I said I was going to blast, but then I saw that it was MMA Weekly, so I wanted to call you. And it was in there. It said something about John Jones. I think it was John Jones and his finger or some injury. Hall of Famer John Jones. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Scotty's not a Hall of Famer. The fight's in the Hall. So we talked about that for a while, and
I mean, who on the right mind would not?
Did he agree with me, though? Like, I still say if my fight's in the UFC, I'm going to go walk around saying I'm in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Okay, enough about you.
But it's no matter of time before John Jones.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he's the GOAT.
No, for sure.
So he could go ahead and call him a Hall of Famer at a time.
What's going on with John now? He's indicted again, or he's charged again?
Yeah. So he may not fight again. It still won't change. He'll still go in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's no question.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame because he did all that on the field, the hits and the records and the years. Nothing should be tarnished because of it.
Are we going to argue about this for the next 3 hours? For the next 2 hours and 50 minutes?
Just saying.
Well, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's your.
We talked about that.
Right. Can we all, as a unit, can we 3/4 of Knockout Radio explain to the greatest producer to come out of Metalon in St. Pete that screaming without a microphone doesn't work?
Oh, it works.
I don't think he understands.
You need to watch the video.
We're going to have to set it up.
Well.
All right.
He's the best in the biz.
Well, he'll tell you.
That's right.
He's spent enough time around you that now he acts like that. I don't know where we want to start. Do we want to start? We only have... Why don't we hit a break, and then we'll start our very first Victory Wednesday with Rose Namajunas when we return. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. We'll be right back.